everyone. How are you? It's been a while, I know. Anyways, do you ever stop and think about your life and where you are in this current moment? I mean, there are a lot of things we all go through that are similar, such as the first time we ever tried riding a bicycle or driving a car, when we passed a test that we thought we were totally going to flunk. But if you think about the things that have changed your life forever, the stuff that really matters, well, there are so many factors that could have changed the course in the other direction. I know, I am rambling on, but this is how I think about having met and fallen in love with my wife. You see, I first met my wife when I decided to take piano class at San Luis State University. At the time, she didn't know me and I didn't know her. I would come to class with my friend Anthony, and I would play on the piano before class started. I taught myself through YouTube how to play Fallen by Alicia Keys, but no one seemed to notice me, except this one beautiful girl, my wife. I'm just kidding. She never noticed me playing the song on the piano either. In fact, no one did until the last day of class. Go figure. Anyways, I was a bit, how should I put this? Goofy in that class. So my wife ended up noticing me. She most likely thought I was annoying, but remembered me at the least. I also noticed her because there was a test that we had one day for class. We had to play the piano in front of the entire class, and the professor was a bit persistent on you getting the song correct. The professor was kind of weird, though. She never seemed to open her eyes when she talked to anybody. She always had her eyes closed. Everyone had a flustering day that day, except for me, of course, who played the song and passed the test with flying colors. Actually, I had to replay my song like 7 times, but that is besides the point. My wife ended up playing her song on the piano in front of everyone, and the professor seemed to be extra pushy for her to get something corrected when she played her song. My wife got flustered, and there was this guy in our class that made a rude comment towards her playing. Needless to say, the guy was a jerk, and my wife had left the classroom upset. Even though I did not know my wife yet, something told me I should go check on her. So I put my Tic Tac in my mouth, grabbed my rose from my backpack, and said, "Hey, baby." Okay, that isn't how it went. And in fact, I didn't go after her to check on her and see if she was okay. But that left an imprint on my mind of her and who she was. Fast forward to my last year at San Luis State University, and I am scrambling to figure out what classes I should take for my final semester. I decided to take a child development class with a focus on physical activity. I love working out. As you can tell, no doubt. Do you even lift, bro? Anyways, turns out my wife had decided to take the same exact class as I did. The first day of the semester usually is the most intense. People are scrambling to get into class if they miss the deadline to get in, and they're trying to get ad codes. So the class was packed. Luckily for me at the time, I had no life, so I got to go in extra early and had myself a nice seat. Ha! Losers. So once class starts, the professor makes an announcement that if you are an enrolled student for that class, then you should be sitting in a chair, while those who are needing an ad code should be standing. My wife was enrolled, so she sat in the chair that was free. The chair that was free happened to be the chair directly behind me. Now, I am 6 feet 4 inches tall, and my wife is pretty small. She has fourth graders that are taller than her. I know, it's crazy. Anyways, so I felt like I was in her way of view for the board. So I asked her if she wanted to switch with me. She said yes, and that was it. I switched with her. But in her head, she thought, "Oh wow, that's a nice guy." So the following class, she sat next to me, and the following class after that, and the one after that, and then, and then, and then, and then, and then, and then. Whoa, where was I? Anyways, we sat next to each other every class, so we had plenty of opportunities to talk to one another. We also remembered each other from our previous piano class together a few years back. Over time, I began to grow a crush on her, and I would be really nervous around her. Eventually, I grew the courage to friend request her on Facebook. What? I was nervous, okay? Anyways, as time went on, we would message each other back and forth. Eventually, my wife told me that she had something she wanted to tell me. In my gut, I knew what it was, so I pressured her to tell me. She told me she liked me. Oh, yeah, that's right, baby. Got him, boy. I told her I liked her too, and we decided to meet up outside of school for a date. We found out through talking on Facebook that we actually went to the same church. So I said, why don't we just meet up at church on Sunday? I know, not the smoothest place to take a lady, but it's still a good place. Either way, we both met up at church. I got there first and waited at our agreed spot. Suddenly doubt came over me. What if she made a mistake and thought she was talking to the other Mario in class? There wasn't any other Mario in class. Well, what if she doesn't show up? Or maybe she didn't want to see me after all. What if she's here? She's here? Oh, she's here. And there she was. She looked so pretty, and I instantly grew more and more nervous. We eventually sat down, and the church had started. I was so excited to be out with the girl I liked from school. If only there was a way I could show her I really liked her. Oh, I know. I can put my arm around her. Anytime a guy wants to show a girl he likes her in the movie or show, he always puts his arm around her. That's gotta be it. So there I was, putting my arm around her, and wham! My elbow hit her right in the head. I started panicking and grabbed hold of her head with my hands and shook her back and forth and said, "Oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay?" My wife was wide-eyed and was getting tossed around by this big buffoon. Thankfully, she was all right, and thankfully, she wanted to stick around for the rest of the date. Eventually, we went on a nice restaurant named Original Joe's and had some lunch. On her, of course. Just kidding, guys. I paid. Come on now. Who do you think I am over here? So, that's how I met my wife. I know, not the most romantic, but hey, we did end up getting married, so who's the real winner here, huh? Anyways, my point is there is so many instances where we could have never met. Thankfully, I took that piano class, and thankfully, my wife did too. Thank God I took that child development class on my very last semester of college, and thankfully, my wife did too. Thankfully, my wife sat directly behind me because there were so many people in the class on our first day of that semester. And thankfully, I thought to ask her if she wanted to switch. Thankfully, we started talking on Facebook. Shoot, thankfully, we both had a Facebook. And yes, thankfully, my wife did not go into a concussion and forget me altogether after I accidentally knocked her in the head. There are so many factors and choices we make daily that could alter our life forever. So I guess I want to say, think about the choices you're going to make today and tomorrow, because who knows? Your future may depend on them.